guys good? Cool. There you go. All right, you guys can introduce yourself, whatever.
Hey guys, we're Monroeville. Here's a brand new one called Free Flying.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm tired of this same old scenery. There's nothing left here in this town for me. Gotta make a change to my situation and headed towards a new direction. Now I'm free flying, got to go, that's no lying. You can't live, then you're lying. Well, there's somewhere out there trying and free flying. Just a boy from New Orleans, picking, playing, singing was his dream. She's a pretty girl from Cincinnati, tired of living under daddy. Now they're free flying, got to go, that's no lying. If you can't live, then you're dying. Well, there's somewhere out there trying and free flying. Yes. Now we're free flying. Got to go, that's no lying. If you get big, then you're dying. There's nothing left to hold us down, so let's take our white way out of town. Following your dreams is satisfying. Now we're flying.
Ready? One, two, three, go.
You took a stand, took the better way out of here. Your broken heart couldn't handle another year. I remember the things that you said around in my head, the words that you said. Someday I'm gonna wonder why you left. It's funny how time can change anything. I went from high to the bottom of everything. I remember the things that you said around in my head, the words that you said. But now I find I'm wondering so much more. I wonder if I saw you, would you take me back again? And I wonder if I begged you, would you pardon me of my sin this time? I remember just why I surrendered. I wonder if I loved you, why did I let you go? Why did I let you go? Why did I let you go? I remember the things that you said, the inflection of words in my head, wishing you were still there in my bed. Broke us a guitar string.
It happens.
It does happen, right? I guess he's gonna slap a new G string on. He says that's how you know you've been doing it right.
Keep it rolling.
That sounds good. Keep it rolling. Won't take him long anyways.
All right, we're here in the ProMotion Studios, joined by Monroeville, Matt Muncie, and the guys. What's going on? Thanks for stopping by.
Oh man, we just come off a tour, and this is the last thing we've done here. This is the end of our tour today. Yeah.
First thing of the year, though.
First thing of the year, yeah.
All right, well, how was the tour? Tell me about it.
It was great. We only had a couple of mishaps. Forgot my mandolin at the music store.
Gosh.
Drove like 45 minutes down the road.
Would you have to drop it off and get it repaired?
No, I was like trying out some gear, wanted to see how it sounded. So I carried my stuff in, and then we got preoccupied, and I just walked out and left it.
Well, you're lucky they didn't sell it.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh my
I'm
God.
lucky that I messaged the guy, and he messaged me. I didn't know that I'd left it. I sent him a video that we made while we were there in Sam Ash, And he messaged me. He's like, "Dude, you left your gear here." So besides that,
all we hear is Muncie go, "Oh my gosh." He's driving, he just lets go, "Oh my gosh." Oh my gosh.
So besides that, little engine trouble, but we had a great tour. We had a few performances in Florida, come through South Carolina, and ended last night at the Moonshine Holler in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what were some of the standout shows? Like any ones that like really like crowd showed you like just utter support?
We've been getting some great response, but one of our favorite places is St. Augustine, man, is so great down there. The venue is just amazing. It's under this gigantic oak tree. It's hard to even explain. You just got to see it. But that's always a great response. And then we've been building kind of a following in Myrtle Beach, Garden City. And we played a place there, a little venue called Salty's, and we won't be able to go back there. I mean, we packed it out. It was great. Great crowd.
Awesome. So you like playing the beach community areas?
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
It's either mountains or beach. That's what we like.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like the vacation destinations.
You know what?
I can't fault you
Tourists,
for that.
we love playing for tourists, man.
Awesome.
That's our favorite.
It's fun.
So, Matt, I'll let you introduce the guys you got with you here.
All right, yeah, we'll start. This is the banjo player, and he's been here the longest, besides me, going on 6 years now. He's from Kodak, Tennessee. His name's McCoy Borg. He's definitely got the most interesting name. And then Evan right here, he's originally from St. Louis, Missouri. He's our drummer, and he lives in Nashville, Tennessee now. And he's kind of been our only drummer, really.
I've been the
that we
remote
know.
guy for the most part.
Yeah, but since he's in Nashville now, we're getting to play a lot more with him, so that's exciting. So this is Evan Pitchers, is his name. And then we got the cousins over here. They both started about 3 or 4 years ago. On the guitar, they're both from Polk County, North Carolina. And on the guitar, that's Chevy Watson, and that's his cousin, Paul Watson, on the bass right there. And
Awesome.
Matt Muncie, we're Monroeville.
Awesome. So you got yourself a grab bag of guys from all over the states. Yeah. So what brought you guys to this guy here? Like, what drew you to him, or did he reach out to you?
Well, I was helping him move to Newport because he got hired on before I did, really.
Newport, Tennessee, or?
Yeah, I was
okay.
helping him move up there, and we found out Monroeville was playing at Margaritaville in Pigeon Forge, so we went over there to chill out and hang with him for a few minutes. He told me the other guy that was with us at the time, Matt Fox, he was going to another gig, so he asked me if I wanted to.
You won't play?
If I wanted a job, so I started a week before he did, but he got hired a week before.
I got hired first, but he started.
Yeah, it's a whole big story.
Well, it's a demand on the other guitarists and stuff, backup
Nobody cares about the
vocalists.
bass, right?
Well, the bassist can wait, but we need you now.
So that was fun. That was a big step for me.
All right.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Oh man, where do I begin? I'm no
At the beginning.
Yeah, I'm a baby. Man, we got hooked up with Sherry Clark.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and what's her role? She's
She's like the man. She's been managing.
So she's known me my whole life. Like she met my mom when she was like, I want to say like 5 months pregnant with me in the womb, and so I've known her like my whole life.
So she was like, I know this guy.
Yeah. So she's watched me growing up. She watched me play. She watched me advance musically, and she's like, let's hook these two guys up. And
Awesome.
so I got to meet him. We just kind of hit it off.
Yeah.
I did a remote session for him, and that was kind of the beginning of this. So
Yeah, and that was like
oh my
2015,
gosh.
14?
Yeah.
that was
He
the
sent me
first-
the tracks. I cut
So that's
them
when
in.
you were still in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he sent me the tracks. I cut them in St. Louis, sent them back to him, a couple hours later, and we were just off and running then.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Yeah.
I guess Monroeville helped motivate you to move to Nashville?
Kinda, yeah. I had kind of reached a ceiling there in St. Louis, so I need to get to a bigger pond, basically. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, man.
All right. How about you?
I met Matt.
forever ago.
It's been almost 15 years ago, probably.
Forever, yeah. He's a what would you call an award-winning clogger? That's right. And he used to clog and dance at all these little bluegrass things that would go on, and we would, I would be in and out of some of those places. And he started playing the banjo.
Yeah, and Matt was actually one of the first people ever that I had been around that had actually let me play with him. When I first started playing.
Brought him up on the stage, I don't even remember that one. But I do remember when he came and he started working at the Moonshine Distillery, playing in between our band. So they would, they keep music all the time there, and they were even at one point, one band would play and then a duet would kind of get up and play in between just to keep the crowds And he was working up there, and I was like, impressed by his work ethic and the fact that he just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I've been through so many people that have all the talent in the world and just no attitude or no drive, no motivation.
Yeah.
And in his case, of course, he was very talented, but I would always take somebody that's got less talent and a better attitude any day.
Right.
And then Monroeville was always like my goal. Like, I wanted to be part of Monroeville.
Awesome.
Like, since the get-go of Monroeville.
I saw what these guys were doing. I was just like, this is different.
Yeah, it was.
Let's hop on this bandwagon.
Right.
It's just, it's a genre. I mean, it's genreless, to be quite honest.
It is. So let's talk about that, Sal. There's elements of bluegrass. You got rock, pop. You got a little bit of blues and jam bandy stuff in there as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So how did you kind of just arrive there organically, or did you set out to have that kind of sound?
Well, I mean, Monroeville's always been about playing outside of any kind of genre. We call it Monroeville because of Bill Monroe, and he was the father of bluegrass music.
Indeed.
And, he was just a general, just badass kind of guy, right? Just really cool. Created this sound. And the way he created the sound was he took influences from like Irish, Appalachian, Irish music, like blues, Delta blues style, just whatever influences that he was around, and he kind of created his own sound out of that.
Yeah.
Monroeville, we kind of do a little bit of that. We pull from the bluegrass elements and from the country and the rock and all that, but we also just like to play anything. So, in a set, you're liable to hear anything from just a straight up Alan Jackson kind of a song to Justin Bieber. I mean, who knows? But it's always focused on our original material, which is our songwriting and our composing together that we try to do to create our sound.
So when you're writing songs, you usually write solo and then bring it to them to kind of add their
it's
contributions?
morphed. It's changed over the last few years. These guys started just a little over 3 years ago, and we were already halfway through the production of Worlds Apart, which is our last album. And these guys were there for the sessions of that, and these guys kind of came in after we'd started. So all of those songs were songs I wrote and arranged, and me and Evan, we did a lot of the arrangements together in the studio. In fact, our first session on that material was just me and him. I was playing guitar and he was playing drums, and we were just getting the bed down for everybody to, because I didn't really have the whole band at the time. I was just kind of needing to fill some positions.
Kind of piecemealing things when you can.
Exactly. Yeah. But now that we've got, 3 or 4 years together with this lineup, the next stuff we've been, the stuff that we're doing now is 100% writing together. In fact, the first one that we pretty much all wrote together was one of the songs we performed called Free Flying.
Okay.
That's kind of like our more country kind of sounding song, but that was an effort by everybody.
So now that you got back from tour, you said the previous album, Worlds Apart, how many years ago was that? That was like 2-3 years ago?
We released that in 2016.
Okay,
yeah.
So any plans coming up soon for a new album?
Yeah, we never stopped. We just keep writing and keep recording demos and stuff.
Any writing on the road, or do you guys kind of like set aside writing time?
Well, we are doing that actually this month. We're just renting a loft in Bryson City, North Carolina. We just wanted to kind of get out in the mountains.
Cool.
And we got this beautiful loft that we're going to be just sitting in, and for like 4 or 5 days, we're just going to write. No distractions. We'll just have like a little interface so we can lay some stuff down and just try to get some ideas out and write, and
cool.
But it comes anywhere. I mean, we've been, one of the things we've been messing with here lately is Oxy. It's a little, not Oxycontin. But
This is Tennessee. It's Tennessee. We've got to make it clear.
So Oxy is an app on the phone that you can record and compose. And it's just like allowed.
We've been sending stuff to
It's
each other.
super convenient because you can be
super
anywhere.
easy.
You can be driving on and just sitting in traffic or
will
something.
come up with a lick. He'll send it to Paul. Paul will send it to me. I'll send it to Matt. We just send it to each other.
Yeah.
And you can forward it right into Ableton, which is awesome too.
Yeah.
So go Oxy. We love Oxy.
Yeah. Where's our sponsorship?
Here's the Oxy sponsorship pitch right here. All right, so you got working on the new album. Any idea when you might have it out or when you're going to record it?
I mean, that's a big question mark right now because we've got some. I wouldn't say necessarily offers, but we got some pretty nice options on the table for us. We've been 100% independent funded ourselves. Everything we've done has been just ourselves for the last 8 years of Monroeville, 9 years now almost. So now we're at a place where we have the following. We kind of have a little bit more, a little more cards in our hands, and we could kind of make a better deal if we wanted to take a deal right now.
Well, it usually takes some time to position yourself to where you can, have some options and choose the one that's best for you. So you've put in the work and,
Yeah, and that's actually where we're going now. We're heading to Nashville to meet with our attorney, who's a great guy.
Gotta have the music attorneys.
And this guy is the best. I mean, really the best in town, one of the biggest in town. And what's best is he believes, he's actually from Bluegrass.
Okay.
Believe it or not, he's a fiddle player, not a violin, a fiddle player. But he's a wonderful musician as well. But he believes in what we're doing, and he knows that there's actually a spot kind of in the mainstream for something like what we're doing. So
it just feels like it's the perfect timing because, like, looking in hindsight, being 2020, it's like, oh man, these people left. Like, how are we going to recoup from that? Well, he would bring people in, then those people will leave. And I'm viewing this all from a third perspective because I'm outside looking in, and I'm just like, man, like, it's gonna get there. It just takes time, like you were saying.
It absolutely does.
And then we got
takes a long time to be an overnight success.
We got Paul, we got Chevy, we got me and Matt. It's just like everything's just come together to this point. And we feel like it's a really good time for Monroeville.
Dedicated to the same.
And a lot of it is that a lot of these industry people want to see how dedicated, how long you can push it independently, and what your level of dedication and stick-to-itiveness is. Before they start throwing their money, behind it, they want to see how much time.
And we've
they're
shown
gonna make
that.
you bend over backwards. So
and we've shown that we've consistently. I mean, I'm not saying this to brag, but we probably play more than anybody. I mean, we are literally playing at least 5 to 10 hours a day. I mean, 5 to 10 sets of shows that we do every day, 5 or 6 days a week.
That's awesome.
So we're doing this every day for the last, I can't even think of how many thousands of shows we played.
But that's how you have to do it.
And then
you have to.
That's the only way we can make a living.
Well, it shows in the quality of the performance too. I mean, what you did for us here today, it speaks for itself. There's a level of quality that comes with that much time together, particularly, spending that much time with a set of musicians on the road, different gigs. You experience issues and different problems. You learn how to work through them quickly. Together. So,
yep.
Now, and I'd like to mention before we move on to anything else, we have 2 Grammy nominees here in the band. If you guys want to give the history behind that, Matt, I know you were nominated for one 2009, right. You said?
That's right, yeah. It was in the, it's a category that's gone now, but it was Best Country, Bluegrass, or Southern Gospel Album of the Year.
Why would they get rid of that category?
I don't know. I think they're just restructuring it, so it's still...
They've scaled them down, but...
They did. That year, the year after I was nominated, they removed like 15 categories. They went down, so that was one that
you can tell that they had already scaled that down.
And they didn't get rid of the genres, or they just moved them into this area or that area. And it's kind of a weird category because you're putting country and Southern gospel and bluegrass all in one category.
Yeah.
Now it's called Best Roots or something like that.
So Americana roots music or something.
Yeah. Well, the bluegrass would go into the bluegrass whether it was gospel or not, and then the Southern gospel would be.
It's in the roots now.
In the roots now.
Yeah.
So.
And yours was for like production?
I wasn't the featured artist. I was part of a band at that time, but I produced and mixed, recorded that album. I just wasn't the front man of that band. And I actually mixed that whole album in my car.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have...
So you like balance it off of the stereo and everything?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So you're just like sitting there with the fader and the balance, just like... Yeah, that sounds good.
Well, no, I actually mixed the whole thing in my car.
Sitting in your car?
In my car, yeah. I didn't have like a control room at the time.
Oh.
So I was like, everybody listens in their car, so I'm just going to mix this in my car.
That's brilliant, yeah.
And it's Grammy-nominated, so it's like, okay.
Right.
and yours was for composition?
Yeah, I was playing with a guy back then. He was a great banjo player back when I was more in touch with bluegrass music. At the time, Todd Taylor. Great guy.
World's fastest banjo player?
He held the record for the world's fastest banjo player.
Oh, wow.
That's why he's so fast.
Chevy getting slick.
Not no more. But yeah, we were actually recording for that. I think it was called Bringing It Home. I think that was the name of the album. And I was in there laying all my guitar stuff down, and we were doing the song by Jens Kruger. I can't think of the name of it now, but I'd laid a guitar track down the way he had it in his mind. Then we went back through it again. As I was listening to it, I had this arrangement in my head, and I just started playing along with it as he was playing it back. And he was like, okay, let's try that. Let's just redo this whole thing. Because I like the way it sounds. And then I was like, okay.
And how old were you at this time?
I was 14.
14
years old.
14 and you got a
Got a
Grammy
Grammy nominated.
Under his belt.
Yeah, that's a pretty good accolade.
Mic drop.
Yeah, you can pretty much walk off after that. It was like, well, I was nominated for a Grammy at 14.
Music industry ain't hard.
Well, you talking about breaking into the music industry? I already got nothing yet.
I was shocked about it. It made me feel really good. And I was like, it got nominated for best arrangement / composition. And I was like, okay. So that kind of set the fire in my head to want to start doing that more often after that happened. So
He's definitely got a composer mind, because some of the stuff, like even the Oxy stuff he plays, and like the parts that he writes, I'm like, dude, where? I'm just glad he's getting it out of his head, because when you got 6 strings, I mean, you can only get so much out of a guitar, and this, like, he's definitely got that composer mind.
Yeah. So there's a lot of creative freedom here for everybody to just add their style and everything.
I mean, I'm a firm believer that you're going to do your best work if you're just allowed to play, what you feel.
Right.
I've been in bands where people are like, well, you need to play this or you need to play that, and it ends up making them like tense,
Yeah.
You get freedom and you just allow that energy to just come out of you like that.
Like when we were doing Worlds Apart, we were just literally sitting in my living room. And I was like expecting, he's probably got this down, what he wants to do. And he just literally like lays the song charts down. He's like, what do you want to do? And it was just like a game all.
But he just handed blank charts to
you? Yeah. It's like, what do you want to do? And we were just composing and arranging there in my living room. And it was the most fun I ever had, was just being able to collaborate.
So you write out charts and like you write notation and stuff like that?
I write out drum charts for me, but I don't know about these guys.
We just do number charts usually.
Okay, all right. So, any other big plans for 2019? You just got off a big tour. You going to set off on another one soon?
Yeah. We actually we booked all the same venues and places, but we're going to do like double amount of time. So we'll probably be gone 2 or 3 weeks, and that'll be in July. But we also have a tour coming up in March. We're going down to Mardi Gras, so we'll be in Louisiana. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to Houma, Louisiana, which is they have like some of the most amazing Mardi Gras parades there, and apparently it's a lot of really cool like local people. It's not like crazy tourists. So I don't know, we're curious to see how that goes. We met these guys, they come up here and they're like in their 60s and 70s, but they play. That's all they do is play music. And they just fell in love with us.
The culture there is insane.
That's what I mean. I could tell, because these guys were awesome, and they're just literally bringing us down there and hooked us up with everything. So we're excited.
That's awesome.
About it.
So do you usually do like a kind of residency sets when you go out, try to play like for a few nights in the same town?
I mean, it depends on what kind of venue. The venue in St. Augustine is a lot like our home gig in Gatlinburg, where it's right on the tourist street, St. George. And there's just thousands of people just walking. It's free, so people just kind of wander in and play and hang out and listen, and they'll leave or whatever, and it's just kind of a turnover like that. And we'll play 2 or 3 days at a place like that, because it's not a ticketed event. You're not trying to compete with other bands. It's just people kind of you're just creating an atmosphere for whoever wanders in there. So
that's a great way to make a little more of an impression on an area too, and like build your audience. Get a lot more exposure over 3 days than playing for one night in front of a tourist audience for real. So you got big plans for 2019. You got the tours and stuff. When can people catch you around East Tennessee here?
We play about 3 different places here locally. Of course, Gatlinburg's kind of like our home. So you can see us what we call Moonshine Holler. It's the Old Smoky Moonshine Distillery.
Yeah, right there at the mall area.
Yeah, it kind of goes back in there. It's like a little holler. There's a Mellow Mushroom and a Dick's Last Resort all right there. So we're kind of back in the back of that. And the 4 of us, without Evan, play there on a pretty much regular basis. And then he comes and plays there, every other week or something like that. And then some of the other places we play are the Smoky Mountain Breweries. We kind of hit all of those, depending on when they need, a band or when they need us. We play at the Island in Pigeon Forge.
Okay,
also a stage there that's Old Smoky Moonshine Distillery. And we haven't really done a whole lot in Knoxville. In fact, most of the stuff that we've done here in Knoxville has been because of promotion. So we did the Blue
Yeah, we'd
Sled.
like to get you out here a lot more. Too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we this is kind of a budding relationship here. So
Yeah.
we really look up to what you guys are doing here in this scene in Knoxville. Needs you guys.
We're very glad to have you guys involved because, like I said, your sound is something that even around here, there's people that do, bluegrass or they do pop. There's not too many people blending what you guys are doing and bringing that kind of unique sound and the energy you guys do. You guys have a phenomenal energy and chemistry on stage together. So. When can people look forward to seeing you around here again? When's the next date?
Well, actually, we're going to Nashville tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be back on our regular schedule. So it's like Wednesday through Sundays when we play.
Where can people follow you at?
Best place to find our schedule is our website. That's monroevilleband.com. And then we have an events page on there that we keep that populated, with our weekly schedule. Of course, our Facebook is really active. Our demographics really more on there right now. So we do keep our content really going there. And then, of course, we have Instagram. And then our YouTube has all of our, our official content and stuff like that. So,
gotcha. All right. Any other things you guys want to mention before we get out of here?
Spotify, look for the Worlds Apart album on iTunes, Spotify. You can stream that stuff or buy it, Amazon, any one of those places. So that album, our latest album, original album, is called Worlds Apart. And so you guys make sure you check that stuff out.
And follow them on all the social media. Go to the website, monroevilleband.com. That way you'll know when they get this new stuff recorded. Maybe they'll tease something for you, and you'll know when the new album drops. And don't forget to follow Promotion on all the social media. Hit the like button, subscribe down below. That way you won't miss any of these live sessions and interviews. Do them all the time, dropping one about every week. So stay tuned. Promotion live in studio with Monroeville. Guys, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Rap.
We still rolling? Yeah. All right, man. Yeah.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
First we're in and then we're out of love. It's just a game till pushing comes to shove. We should trust one another and confide in each other. Your decisions and my visions never seem to fall in line. The whole world's shining with a happy glow. It's like they're in on something we don't know. We never meant to hurt each other. That's the price of seeing others. First aggression, then depression. Neither one of us is fine. Neither one is fine. I may be more than hard to handle. You may be innocent. We may be in over our heads. Please save me. Please save me. By now I would have realized, would have seen the devil in her eyes, that I was just another man, a little trinket in her hand. Need interventions, your intentions can't go on another day. Can't go on another day. You may be more than hard to handle. I may be ignorant. We may be both what we deserve.
do I Love Show. Yeah. Said I'm sick and tired of a broken heart. I wanna heal, don't know where to start. I always get caught up in the silly games. All I want is someone to feel the same. Somebody that don't mind to stay. Sometimes we get caught up in the way we live, instead of living it the way it is. Take the bad times like a little grain of sand. Let the good ones show you that there's beauty, and I don't know how to recognize ones that are telling truth from lies. All I know is if we wanna grow, we gotta take a chance and let love show. Gotta let love show. I said I don't know if we can make it through. So much difference between me and you. We always get caught up in the silly games. All we want is someone to feel the same. Somebody that will let it show. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, we gotta let love show. Sometimes we get caught up in the way we live, instead of living it the way it is. Take the bad times like a little grain of sand. Let the good ones show you that there's beauty, and I don't know how to recognize ones that are telling truth from lies. All I know is if we wanna grow, we gotta take a chance and let love show. Whoa, yeah, we gotta let love show. Maybe all that really matters in the end is if there's someone that can say you were a friend. Sometimes we get caught up in the way we live, instead of living it the way it is. All I know is if we wanna grow, we gotta take a chance and let love show. Son, you're talking to a dead man, so don't take these last words light. There ain't a preacher in this town can make what I've done wrong right. I could hear them at the gallows driving nails into my fate. You're my only chance in hell, son, I just pray I'm not too late. Started when I had to steal to feed my family.
It was stages and banks and cattle. Soon the long arm won't it be? They were waiting at the mouth of Crowheart Canyon with metal teeth and fire. But they only brought me down 'cause I got tangled in the wire of a long stretch of devil's rope. I feel it already on my throat. They're gonna give me one more dawn, then I'll be swinging on the devil's rope. Timing strikes like a lightning, so consider yourself one. When you ride the horse you're riding, jump behind you like a storm. It's way too late for me now, but you still got time to choose. Don't make the kind of choice, stick your neck out for the goose. On a long stretch of devil's rope, I feel it already on my throat. They're gonna give it one more dawn, then I'll be hanging on the devil's rope. Nation. I've already dug my hole, so for God's sakes, please make my tombstone raid. I lost one life, but I saved two souls from a long stretch of devil's rope. I feel it already on my throat. Devil's rope. They're gonna give it one more dawn and tell me when I've got time.